So today we're going to talk about how to organize that to-do list to get more done. Coming up next. Hi everybody, my name is Dee Burks and this is Retirement Rescue, where we talk about how to make money, save money, and create a great retirement. Well, one of the things that a lot of times happens when we're semi-retired or retired is we just can't seem to get things done. So I'm going to give you a few tips that I use to help accomplish things in a really efficient way. And at the end of this video, I'm also going to talk to you, have a little heart-to-heart, about how focusing on productivity can ruin your retirement. So hang around for that. But now let's get to the tips. And number one, let's address the overwhelm. You have so many things to do, it's like you can't get started on anything. One of the reasons for that is you haven't broken down those tasks into small, doable chunks. When we have these big, non-specific ideas, like let's say you have a room in the house and it's kind of the junk room. Yeah, you know that room? I do too. And you go in there and there's so much to do, it's like you can't get started on anything. Well, one of the problems is how you're thinking about it. Yes, it's a lot to do and it is overwhelming. But if you break it down into, I'm going to focus on the shelves in this room and just clean off the shelves, that makes it really specific and doable. It releases you from the idea you have to do all the things. You don't have to do all the things. You have to make slow progress over time to get some of those big ideas done. But that's really the first tip. Go from these big general ideas to small, doable chunks. Now let's talk about how you prioritize and make a list. I generally keep a running list of the things that I need to do, whether it be stuff for YouTube, decluttering something, organizing something, my general daily to-do list. I keep a running list of that every month. These are the things I want to accomplish overall. And then every day I prioritize my list. And here's why that's important. There are things that come up or things that you must do on specific days that have to be done. Those are the absolute priority. The rest of the time during that day or week is spent trying to accomplish those things I want to do on a monthly basis. If I don't get it done that day, it rolls to the next day. It's not a big deal. But I have really specific small things that I can do during the day to accomplish those long-term goals. But every day there are things that have to be done that day. They always come first. Now, number three is when you look at those goals, I try really hard to batch tasks together. And what I mean by that is, if I'm going to be out of the house, if you have an appointment or something to do that day and you're going to be out of the house, what I do is I batch everything that I need to do out of the house on that day. So I do grocery shopping, I go check my post office box, I go see if I need to mail something, if I have to go pay a bill that requires me just to go drop it off. I do all of those things on one day. If you have to pick up prescriptions, have a doctor's appointment, batch things together. If you're going to be out anyway, be as efficient as possible. And for those of us who are semi-retired or retired, we can plan to do those things out of the house on a day when everyone else is at work during the week, so we can miss the traffic, miss the hang-ups, miss the lines of people, go when it's slow, and we can accomplish things so much faster and easier. But I always try to batch things together. That even goes for things like this YouTube channel. I will take one day and I will film 3 or 4 in a day. I will do all my editing of those 3 or 4, and then I'll do the uploads. It's really efficient. And the interesting thing is, if I only try to do one, it takes almost as long as doing 3, which is a little bit crazy. But that's how we are as human beings. When you're batching things together, the tasks that are similar, and we batch them together, we tend to get more done. I mean, how often have you thought, gosh, I need to do a bunch of laundry? and you do one load and get distracted and do something else, and the next day you have to rewash that load. And don't sit there and tell me you haven't done that a few times. I do that all the time. I think the record is like rewashing a load like 6 times because I kept forgetting it was in the washer. So that's one reason it's really handy to batch things together. It allows you to focus and really get things done. And when you're batching them together, that means you're also blocking off a time to get those similar tasks done, like the laundry. Block off a time and says, I'm going to do laundry between this time and this time. Focus on the laundry and get it done. Allowing ourselves to get distracted by all the things we need to do means we do a little bit of this, we do a little bit of that, we forget the load of laundry that's in the washer, and we don't get anything done. So batch those tasks together and then time block. Say, I'm going to spend 4 hours going and doing things out of the house. I'm going to spend 3 hours getting all the laundry done, all the linens washed, and everything put away. I mean, a lot of times, especially with laundry, it's about, hey, I'll get it all done, washed, and put away in 5 to 7 business days. That's not efficient. But we do that, don't we? Because we get distracted with all these other things. So block off time and write it in your notebook. I just keep a little spiral notebook like this that has my running list. And I'll say on Tuesday, I'm going to film videos between 9:30 and noon. On Wednesday, I'm going to edit videos between 9 o'clock and 1 o'clock. You know, those are the types of time blocks I'm talking about. And then focus. Don't allow yourself to get distracted by every squirrel that crosses your mind. Time blocking keeps you focused and able to accomplish things. Number 4 is be flexible. Things take much longer to accomplish than we think they do. And we also think, hey, I'm Wonder Woman. I can get it done in an hour, when it really takes several hours. So be conscious of that. We all underestimate the time something's going to take. And then we put pressure on ourselves. That's unnecessary. Be flexible. Allow the task to be accomplished in the time it needs. And if you can't get it accomplished, roll it over into another time block the next day or the next week so you can accomplish it. Then learn from that and know if you put that on your list again, it's going to require more time. There are also times that life just gets in the way. You have big plans and you have everything time blocked, but something happens and none of it happens that day. It's okay. Just put it in the next day's time block or the next week's time block. Do not get so rigid that you don't allow life to happen. And especially those of us, and I hate to keep saying those of us who are older. Those of us who are of a certain age, sometimes your energy level just gets wiped out. That happens to me all the time. I'm great in the mornings, but I tell people, hey, if it's after about 3 in the afternoon, I'm like worthless. And that's true. Some people my age are very much night owls. They love to do things in the evenings and even through the wee hours of the night and then sleep late in the morning. That happens to be how their energy is. So be flexible. If you have some high energy mornings, man, get a lot done. But if you don't, and all you feel like doing is sitting there and drinking coffee until 11, happens, then do that and be flexible. One of the causes of anxiety and overwhelm is we put that pressure on ourselves to do all the things like we're 25 years old. We're just not. We don't have that energy. And so it's okay. Be flexible and be kind to yourself, and you will get these things accomplished. Number 5, there are inevitably things you're going to put on your master running list that just don't seem to get done. And you have to ask yourself a couple of questions if that happens. If that item has been on your task list for several months and you haven't gotten anything done toward it, you need to decide, okay, why? Is that task something you just haven't broken down into doable steps? If that's the issue and you just haven't broken it down into steps for you to accomplish, then go ahead and do that and start working toward that goal. However, Sometimes we put a task on our list that we would like to think we need to do, or that someone else thinks we need to do, and we really don't want to do it. It's like we develop a mental block toward it and we just refuse to do it. So get real with yourself. There are things we put on our list that don't need to be there. Things that don't need to get done. Things that no one cares if they get done. It's okay to remove things off your master list. This is not a, hey, things I want to accomplish before I die list. It's just a to-do list, that's all. You have the power to change it, and if there's something on there that just doesn't seem to get done and isn't that important to you anymore, man, take it off and do something else. Now let's have a little talk about the idea of productivity and how it can really derail your retirement. When a lot of us are working, we're so used to being productive from 9 to 5 or whatever the hours of that job are, and we have so little time for ourselves, we tend to carry that over into retirement. Our to-do list and that productivity mindset takes over and hijacks our retirement. Retirement is about you enjoying life. It is your reward for having worked years to be able to retire. So don't allow a to-do list or the idea that you must be productive hijack that retirement. I cannot tell you the number of people that I talk to, retirees, semi-retirees, just like me, who are always talking about how people just will make offhand comments about, well, don't you have anything to do but go fishing? No, that is my retirement. That's what I want to do. I have earned it, and I'm going to do it. And sometimes you have to have that mindset. Retirement is for you to enjoy. If the weather is beautiful, ditch that to-do list and go play golf. That is what retirement is about. It's not about accomplishing and checking things off a list. That part of your life is done. And while we love to be productive, and I'm one of those people, I love to be productive, I also understand there's a time and a place. And I'm at the place in my life I can totally set it aside and go do what I want to do. And it doesn't matter anyone else's opinion. So do not allow the idea that you must be productive hijack the enjoyment of your retirement. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please click subscribe, and I'll see you next time.